Amidst all the turmoil in Portsmouth stands a mighty servant of God. Today we have Pastor Burden from First Corinthians Baptist Church, and we're going to discuss his role in a busy city. Let's talk. Would you like to tell us a little about yourself?
My name is Aldran. I was born in Portsmouth General Hospital. I don't know if a lot of people remember that hospital, but that was one of the many hospitals that a lot of black people were born in. I grew up in Ottawa, Washington Park, Cabinet Park, and then we moved to Cumberland Manor. Graduated from Wilson High School, got a degree from Virginia State. I can go on about myself. But can we cut this off? Start pastoring in 2015, and here I am now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Um, Tell us about some of the programs your church offers.
We offer programs to help domestic violence and abused women. We also do a family placement program to where if you come to us and tell us what the issue is, we try our best to get you somewhere safe. We try to make sure we get you food and those things. We also have a prison reform program. If you just got out, we help you get connections to go where you need to go to make sure that you're safe and can get a job. And also we help with mental health, with Healing Hearts and Minds, which is another branch of our church that helps you go beyond that. Yes, we need prayer. Yes, we know God, but there's also mental instabilities that people need help with. And then, we do like normal churches. We do praise teams and all other stuff, but we try to do more things to push the community to have more consciousness to more just coming to church.
Okay. What made you want to take this path and why in Portsmouth?
When I was 15, we used to have this little crew called the Cavalier Manor Boys. And we would go around stealing bikes, being dumb, whatever the case is. And there was this pastor. His name was Samuel Carruth. He's Holy Light Church of Deliverance. He's up the street from my church. And he used to always bring us to Vacation Bible School. And I could not stand Vacation Bible School. It bothered my life so bad to where it irritated me. But he showed me something different. It was a bunch of men in there. They were positive. I grew up around a bunch of crime. So everybody in my family was either hood or drunk. So it was something different. And then because I grew up in Portsmouth. It's rare that we hear a lot of positivity from the males in Portsmouth. So I figured, hey, like I got sons. I want them to see me do something beyond to where I could leave a legacy.
That's awesome. So back to some of your programs. How does someone go about seeking those services?
First thing they can do, they could contact our church page. It's First Corinthians Baptist Church. It's on Facebook. If not, they can reach either me or Josephina Winfield. I used to put my number out there, so I really struggle on that. So we'll just contact the church, and then once they tell us what the issue is, there's a conglomerate or a collective, so where we all get together because I'm in charge of the Southern Regional Religious Coalition. I'm the president, and that's 15 churches together in Portsmouth. So where I bring the issue to them, I present it to them, and then we approve on what and how far we can help the people.
Awesome. Okay. Now, how do you feel about the current state of the city?
Chaos is the only way we can describe the city because the first thing the kids need is some type of vocational trade. Everybody's not going to make it in college. College is not for everybody, and we need to help them understand. And I think it's bad. We are putting people in office who have no proof of business mind, who hasn't shown us that they can have successful businesses or care. And we've all done it based on popularity. And here we are. There's no other way to put that. We've taken candidates who've gamed it, and like we were just saying, people gave us some weird promises, or we've known them for a long period of time. And we go, hey, I'll take a chance on you. And instead of studying or vetting these people, we just let them get in there. And now we're in a strange mess. Because when I grew up, there wasn't solid black council. If you can remember, if you know about Portsmouth, the only mayor that I had ever remembered was Mayor Holly, and he was a dentist. And then even at some point, he made stuff about him too. Because if you drive around, what you see next to that McDonald's over there on Effingham Street?
The dentist office.
Holly dentist office.
Yeah.
So majority of the people that we've put in office, they found a way to figuratively make it about them. We need people who are gonna answer to the people, who can help the people. So the city's everywhere.
I can agree.
It's literally everywhere.
I can agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to endorse candidates for council, who would you endorse?
Okay, let me take my time on this one. Okay, help me God. Vernon Tillage is a solid young man. I've worked with him. I know a lot about him. He cares, and he has previous experience in politics because he's worked for certain politicians. I would support Vernon because he makes sure that there's varies of everybody. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't have, I'm trying to make sure I say this right because I'm a pastor. Vernon cares about the certain communities to where there's no focus. It's for everybody's voice.
Okay.
And that's what I respect about Vernon. Vernon will make sure that it's everybody's voice. And then I would support Lakeisha Hicks too, because she's business minded and she has a focal point in the NAACP. But I would like for her to present a plan. I need, and just endorsing, and I'm saying this as a pastor, I will support these two, but I need them to give us a plan.
Okay.
Oh, I get your poster. I'm cool with them. I think they're amazing people. But now we got to get to the point where we go, what's your plan? Because I think we did the buyback program. And soon as she came to me, I said, why do I need to endorse you? Why do I need to tell people to vote for you? What is it that you have to offer the city that doesn't make me feel like I got to regurgitate? Mm. And she was like, oh, I didn't think he's going to come to me like that. We got to stop. We have to stop just letting people take our voice instead of asking questions.
Yeah.
I support them, but I need them to present us with a plan. Not just for the Black community, but for the whole city of Portsmouth. Because think about this. When you go down Portsmouth Boulevard, and you're going from Portsmouth Boulevard, once you go across the thing from Portsmouth Boulevard, you got Churchland. Churchland looks so economically sound, it makes it seem like it ain't even part of Portsmouth. Am I lying?
Well,
and then you come across the street, we got downtown Portsmouth. We got the mom and pop stores, which are great, which I think everybody should own and all the other things. But we should be able to have the whole city look good.
Yeah.
Just think about it. You get in there, you cross that bridge, and you go, "Oh my goodness, the YMCA is pretty, and the Kroger is pretty. The library is nice. Portsmouth has a great library, but you got the bypass the dude asking you for money, and there's people sleeping in there. Like we need to make the city more economically sound, so people are willing to come across the tube."
I get it.
And no, I'm not running. I heard no. Somebody asked me recently, no, I can't do it because I can't lie and I can't control when I'm disgusted. Mm-hmm. So I can't do it. I can't.
Because my face betrays me.
I'm going to turn on you right in the middle of that meeting. I'm going to go, what? That ain't what we talked about. I'm going to turn somebody in.
All right. So what are your top goals for improving the city?
This is going to be long-winded.
That's okay.
Number one, we need to have a conversation with those who feel they don't have a voice. There aren't solid conversations to the young people, which is where our crime is coming from, because there are not conversations. We need to talk to the 13 to the 16-year-olds. That's the first group we need to talk to. Figure out if there's any issue. Figure out any truancy problems. Figure out what's going on in the house. Figure out any PTSD issues. That's the first part. Next, we need to stop saying that there is no gang activity, because it is. Mm-hmm. We need to sit them down and ask them, what can we do differently to help you understand this? Third, we got to start turning people in. There are people who walk around with people, oh yeah, my cousin be killing a whole bunch of people, and then they're affected when one of them get locked up and they saying free him. No, you keep his hind pots in there. He's unstable. He's a menace. And I am not for locking up people, but at some point, we have to keep the city safe. And the reason why is the people who are committing the crimes are not old enough to be tried. Did you know that?
Yeah.
The age range for people who are committing crimes are under the age of 18. So the judge sees that and he's going, well, let's put you in juvenile and try to give some form of reform and try to come up with some counseling and things like that. Let me help you. I was 15 years old once. I was a menace. I did a lot of stuff. Once you make up your mind at that age, it takes a lot to bring that back down mentally. Mm-hmm. My father was not there. Me and my dad just got cool when I turned 19. My mom had to work, and then she married another guy that I had to try to figure out. So right then and there, the house was unstable for me. So what you going to do? You're going to fall in love with somebody who is just like you, and we're going to create chaos. Mm. And the only way you talk to those boys is somebody that they can relate to, and that's somebody that's going to make money off of them. Mm. That's another issue. The only way the climate is going to change, we have to stop funding people who makes money off of what needs to be done and don't do it. We have all these reform committees and everybody, oh, we stopping the violence and all this other stuff. When the last time you've seen a cookout, a community cookout that offered all these things and we sat them down and said, hey, maybe we need to have parenting classes too. And when I grew up, you had to have a parenting class. Like I think when we was going to Waters and you messed up real bad, they brought your mama in and asked, was there something going on at home? They asked your mama, is she okay? Can we help you with stuff? That's the first part. The next thing is the police needs money. And it sounds like I'm being a different person, but no, if we defund the help, how do you get the help? The meeting, the thing they said at that little town hall meeting depressed me. $30,000 for guys that's putting their life on the line. So the sheriff is going out here serving people and can get food stamps. And then with the Portsmouth Police Department, we're hiring guys who do not live in Portsmouth, who don't know the community, don't know the neighborhood. So they're already coming here in fear. Prime example, Frederick Boulevard is the most dangerous street in Portsmouth. Okay. When you go to that BP right there, okay. See, this is go to the BP at Frederick Boulevard at the wrong time. Okay. All hell gonna break loose. Okay. And the cops knows this. You know what they do? They wait until it's finished and then they show up. I just saw the other day, my nephew sent me a video of two dudes fighting in the middle of the gas station in the rain, in the BP. Cops never showed up. The fight took place for about 20 minutes. Where was the police? It's visible. This is BP. Yeah. Another thing is there needs to be another relationship with the cops and us. Regardless of if anybody's feeling the type of way, we need to have a conversation with them because we're scared. My nephew's 21. He got pulled over 3-4 months ago. If you see this, sorry, bro. He got pulled over 3-4 months ago. He's crying. What's going on, bro? He said, Uncle Al, I got pulled over. I said, where you at? He said, I'm in Portsmouth. Another car done showed up. I don't know what they about to do. What's my first response? They gonna kill my baby. So I get up, drive over there, and the cop says, oh, Pastor Bird, my bad. We didn't know that was your nephew. We was trying to figure out such a thing. So what if I want a pastor? What do you got shot? What do you got hurt? My nephew is instantly petrified of cops, not from the perception of being constantly pulled over. He's 21, he got a decent car. Yes, he plays loud music besides all of that. But like I told him before, you're an attention grabber. So there needs to be another conversation. Another thing we need is those conversations need to be some form of monthly. They ain't that busy to where they can't sit down. Like London Oaks is privately owned. It's no longer a figure of PHRA. Portsmouth don't own that as a privately owned entity. Okay. So if me and you were investors, we can go buy London Oaks and we can improve it. Why haven't they fixed that yet? It's an experiment to see how far everybody in that little area gonna go far.
And why did they build those fences? like, what is the
I had to say that off of this, but
that bothered me because remember when that pregnant little girl got killed?
yes,
She could have ran had that fence not been there.
the fence is up there because of the dice games. Okay, so yeah, we gotta get a little. So the apartment complex. I know how y'all about space. I didn't want. So the apartment complex has got these little holes right here. I told you I'm from the street, so get past the part. We right here. There's a slot here. There's a slot here. Me and you gonna have a dice game right here in the middle. In the apartments, there's that little space hallway in between. There's a dice game going on right here. Okay. When there was no fences, when the cops came, you could throw your dice down and run. Okay. No gates, everybody run everywhere. Okay. So they put the fence around there to better catch the criminals. No. So you roll up and there's a dice game. Where they gonna go?
Okay.
It's unfair though.
Yeah, because for that dice game, the rest of your citizens that live there have kind of been put.
They're in danger. Yeah,
because where can they run?
They can't run nowhere, and then that's another thing that the residents have complained about because every dice game leads to a murder. This young man that just died, I forgot his name, started with a P. He was breaking up a fight. In the process of breaking up the fight, they shot him in the face. It took the police 20 minutes to get there. He laid there dead or on the verge of death. Because according to the people out there, because I've went out there, he still had a chance. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Now here's the downside to that. London Oaks is here, and I don't know if you know too much about Portsmouth. You might, but Broad Street's there where the man. Okay, cool. Broad Street, Broad Street where that post office is.
Yes.
When you go straight down, what's there at the end before you get to that little mini park?
Oh.
A fire station.
Oh, I didn't know.
She from Portsmouth.
I didn't say I'm from. I said I live in Portsmouth.
She lived there.
From Norfolk.
Okay, so Broad Street straight down, and you'll see this again. Broad Street straight down. There's this little hotel called Econo Lodge right there. I know that. Straight there, post office there. Further down, there's a storage place to that left. Then there's another place where the truckers go get their checks and like that. Further down, there's a fire station. When that boy was shot, why did the fire department scurry down fast enough? And it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there, huh? That's crazy. What was they doing?
I don't want to speculate.
They say they understaffed and underfunded.
Listen, my house caught on fire April 3rd. Completely engulfed. My house is behind the fire station. It took them 10 minutes to get there. My house was already gone.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so many things that needs to be done. And then the whole thing of the climate of it. The only thing that needs to change is that we have to talk to the children. And then we have to talk to the parents. And then we need better economic jobs.
Yeah.
Why the ham sandwich we got all these car washes? How many times is you gonna wash your car?
We got a lot of car washes, and we do have a lot of storage facilities.
They could have put a Chipotle right there. I don't even eat Chipotle, but I know that brings money. Yeah. Or a Zaxby's or something. They took that little space right there. What's that? Seaboard Square, the CVS right there, off Turnpike. They're gonna put a car wash right there.
Another one.
And it's a car wash already previously the other way where the Walmart is. How many times do you wash your car?
All we need is auto bill. That's where I go.
I mean, I'm down for keeping your car clean, but I ain't trying to get shot for
it. Yeah, that's true.
So that's what we need. We need conversation, better perspective, more economic opportunities. So when this casino opens, what then? Because I think it's a 3-part, right? It's a resort, a movie theater, and a casino.
Yeah, but we don't have a hotel yet. Now that was my whole beef. We're a casino. Like, how you have a casino?
Ain't nowhere to sleep.
And you don't have a hotel. And don't tell me about that Marriott, because that needs a little upgrade.
It does. And they need better customer service.
So, like, why would I come out of town to your casino?
There's nothing here.
Why would I come to your casino? Because without a hotel, I'm already paying to bring my family down. So I've got to stay in Norfolk anyway.
Right.
I'm going to go to Norfolk's casino.
So I thought they were adding a hotel. That's not a hotel?
You've got to make a certain...
Talk to me. We here.
You ain't watched that city council meeting.
I didn't watch that one, so tell me what's up.
Whoever came up with that contract,
Mm-hmm.
they have to make a certain amount of money. I can't remember. It's like $243 million in a year before they build a hotel.
Well, the climate of gambling will make money for that casino because you can go in one of them little rinky-dink corn stores and gamble.
I don't know, man. 243 million.
We can do it. All these entrepreneurs out here, everybody saying they got all this money, and I'm getting sick of it. If we're saying we have all of this, why hasn't there been any group come together and say, let's do this for Portsmouth instead of bragging about the money you got?
Yeah, that's true.
And then we gotta go to the churches too. What are you gonna do if your church is in Portsmouth, and if you really factor it in, and this ain't a whim, I'm gonna tell you because I'm on the board, so I know it's here. Almost 300 churches in the city of Portsmouth.
Dang.
If we and I might be exaggerating, but I might be exaggerating a little, but we're being honest.
Okay.
We can say almost 300, we can say almost 200. Now, if we factor in that each one of those churches have 50 to 60 people in there, which is probably descended due to COVID, we've downsized all those other things. There is at least 15 churches in the area that consider themselves mega churches. Why haven't they helped the community?
I mean, they give out
what?
Food.
What food? That's to their church.
That's to the church. Oh, well, I always see something. Somebody bought us gas.
That's a tax write-off. You really want me to be ignorant? That's not enough. Okay, so when you get your 501c3, right?
Yeah.
You're allowed to do certain things that other people are not doing, so the government funds you for what you're allowed to do. I don't want to give y'all gas. I ain't trying to be funny. You can go get your own gas. I want to be funded enough to where there's an apartment complex behind my church that I'm trying to buy that's going to help me turn every issue that people are going through to transition homes.
Okay.
I've already did a proposal. I'm waiting for things to go the way it's supposed to. It's a 2-year transitional home. You get to pocket your money. You get to stay there, but you have to apply for a job or go to school.
Oh, that's
Within
nice.
2 years, I need you to move so I can help another family. Instead, the owner doesn't want to sell it to a church. But it's a nice apartment complex, but you need hazmat suits to walk in there because people break in. Last time we went in there, it wasn't pleasant.
Well, he might as well sell it then.
He might as well, because it's going to benefit. And I believe every church could do that instead of depending on city council. So the money we get is unfiltered and non-taxable, because it is through your 501c3 nonprofit. You can take that and write it up perfectly, because I got the best grant writer that can do it. And if you're a pastor and you're watching this, call me. She ain't gonna charge you, because the only way we can change this is if the pastors who have a voice and education and sound mind can give without looking for anything in return.
Yes. Yes.
It's the only way this is gonna work.
Yes. We need something. We gotta do something different.
We have to do something. We cannot keep letting people going, oh, we got people who's never had solid jobs sitting on 23 grand a year. And you and I both know that's not enough. Not economically.
And have children?
Listen, that's not enough. Part 2, if we're going to create things that's meant for kids, we got to be fair. I've had kids who've been on those teams who were completely defeated. So we said, cool, we're going to pull some money together. And we did a trophy ceremony. And the parents was like, nah, Pastor Bird, we ain't doing that. We want our money.
Oh.
And I've had people who've joined, like, this is a repetitive thing and it doesn't feel right. Tell people you're from Portsmouth, go, oh, they're going to shoot you over there. That's not true. You get shot everywhere.
True.
Granted, it's a larger percentage in Portsmouth, but you can get shot anywhere.
Well, I feel like that there is crime everywhere, because like Norfolk is number 1 in rapes.
Yes, but why isn't that advertised?
I don't know, and that's what I was looking at. I was like, why is every time somebody gets shot, we make this? First of all, it is a big deal that someone gets shot. It's very important. I don't want to put that out there. It's very important.
It is,
but it seemed like people get shot in Virginia Beach. I don't hear about that. People get shot in Suffolk.
You do. It's just a quick story.
Yeah, it just. But when someone in Portsmouth gets shot, it
Reoccurring.
is news.
It's reoccurring. Number one,
First page, front page, all on social media. It's like, where's the equal opportunity in the city?
It's not going to be equal. Well, we are the only city that is a circus. Economic wise, government wise, everything about Portsmouth seems like a failure. Why not promote the crime? You've never seen that stuff happen in the Virginia Beach chambers. They pop off, but it don't get pushed out like that media-wise. If they got an issue with somebody, they take it off the dais. But because we're in a city where we're going to make it up front, that's embarrassing.
It is.
I don't care how mad you are. Everybody knows there's a certain level of decorum you must carry in the public eye. And that's why Portsmouth is so advertised. Like, prime example, somebody will get shot Monday. We're going to hear about that Monday shooting all the way till next Monday. Somebody gets shot in Norfolk. You even watch the news, it sounds funny. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what they'll do. Hey, a man was shot in Portsmouth on Monday. The investigation's still going. In the process, somebody in Norfolk was shot, and then it's quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the guy got killed in Newport News in 7-Eleven, somebody walked in there. A guy got killed in Virginia Beach, and I felt sorry for it. Then another man got killed by his wife in Newport News, and everybody's trying, Portsmouth this, Portsmouth that. They'll take one killing and drag it instead of explaining the situation because that's not solid media.
Yeah. But that's why I was like, hold on. Because I saw, what is it? It was on Instagram. Someone somewhere in the boonies, Tennessee or something, talking about something. Don't go to Portsmouth. Now, first of all, what you know about Portsmouth?
The boy did a whole TikTok. Yeah, the boy did a whole TikTok. Ain't never been to Portsmouth. But what is portrayed, a friend of mine lives in California. She's about to be moved back to Virginia. So she knows me about, she was like, Aldrin, I'm going to come to Portsmouth, but can you make sure nothing happens to me? I said, girl, ain't nobody gonna shoot. Like, you doing too much. She was like, well, it's bad out there. Girl, you in Inglewood. How? Yes.
Okay.
She believes that Inglewood is better off than Portsmouth because of what's portrayed.
Yeah.
Think about that. Compton, and if you ain't never been to Inglewood, I'm telling you right now, I've been to Crenshaw, I've been everywhere because I travel through Ministers Conference, and then I'm a counselor, so I go to places to help with mental health. We went to this place, and you could literally see they knew we was foreigners, so they kept it quiet because they know what we was gonna do. Okay. Or when I've been to Baltimore is off the chains. So a friend of mine, he just put a post up that he was in Maryland, which I don't know why he did this. He went inside the building and left his door unlocked, and they robbed him. I don't know what. I don't think Jesus was his foundation then, because I don't leave my door unlocked nowhere. Everybody steal. I don't trust nobody. But there has to be a certain level of motivation to give us pride again.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about our police chief and
the conference today?
Yeah.
I believe Chief Jenkins is going to do well if he's allowed to do his job. He will not be a puppet.
Yeah.
He's too strong for that. He will remain a sense of professionalism and tact. And because he grew up in a particular neighborhood to where he understands he didn't grow up in Portsmouth, but he's been here for 20 years. He knows the city. And that's what we need. Chief Prince didn't know the city. Chief Jenkins knows it from front to back. He can tell you what type of crime is going to be. He can tell you where it's going to be this to the level of it's going to be good. My disdain is I just don't think Tanya Chapman is qualified for the position she's hired for. And I don't think it's unfair to ask this lady to do a particular things. But in retrospective, she should have never accepted it.
Yeah. And I was wondering, why would you want to accept a job knowing that once things shift, you may get fired?
You gonna turn down $400,000?
She not gonna get the $400,000.
If they fire her, she's gonna get $400,000.
You have to fire her without cause.
You can get fired without cause in Virginia.
Then that's what the contract says. If you fire her without cause, she get $400,000.
Oh
Well,
God.
she's already given us cause to
Yeah.
fire her, so
We
she
got
just
cause.
lost $400.
True. That's true.
She just lost it.
That's true. That is true. But she got a raise because she wasn't getting paid that much money as a police chief.
Yeah. And then she get fired out the parole board
Yep.
too, right? When Youngkin came in, Governor Youngkin came in and fired everybody on parole. So
Almost everybody.
almost.
Yeah. But that has something to do with competency too, and because he wanted to change parole in Virginia. You know, now you can't get off on good behavior no more. That's canceled. You gotta do your whole time. Oh, you
I didn't know that.
Yeah, ain't no more good behavior. That's what he changed. That's why he fired them. And say if you get 40 years and you've been doing, you know, some guys did education and all those things like that, and they were able to get off. He's not allowing that.
Wow.
What's the guy that just left? What's our governor's name? Just left, Lord Fitz.
Northam?
Yeah. So he approved that that even if you had a long sentence and it was non-violent, or even if it was violent and you reformed, you could come out. Youngkin squashed all that. Governor Youngkin, he said, whatever you went in there for, you're going to wear it.
So tell me your thoughts about now that marijuana is legal.
Right.
About the people still in jail for those crimes.
I think it's bull.
Yeah.
I had no other way to say that. Think about how, if we can take it back to where everything that we perfected that was illegal, they made it legal so we couldn't perfect it. I'll give it to you. The Prohibition era, when the mafia was selling liquor, it was cool. But when we started, what happened? Made it legal. So after they took the Prohibition era and said, oh, we're not going to take liquor, we said, cool, we going to start doing what? Numbers. So you had all the mafia in control of the numbers. And then when the black people took it, what did they do? They made it legal. And when we took cocaine, broke it down, turned it into crack. I'm sorry. I'm just saying we're gonna get real personal here. Once we did all that, they made that legal, but with parameters because the other race was getting high. Then we had the opiate crisis and all that. I think those guys who went to jail for selling marijuana should be free.
Yeah.
Ain't no way around it. Because if they just imagine if you doing 30, 40 years for marijuana and you come home and people growing weed in their backyard and you went to jail for doing that.
Yeah.
But then that's a part of what was that Ronald Reagan's plan when he did the war on drugs, because we allowed so much, because you remember the mafia was the hitman for our country because of what they did in World War II when they allowed the ships to come in Italy. The mafia allowed Mussolini, told Mussolini we could bring him in. So they're going to get more than what we are. So we were going to get in prison because the black drug dealers started becoming millionaires. Got Nicky Barnes, Frank Lucas, and some of the other guys and people we know, to where you run. Remember, at first it was massive, and then they started saying if you had this much, you go into jail. It's not cool.
Yeah. So I was wondering, because like I see my legislators talking about how they fought, some of them they fought to get marijuana legal, but I don't see them fighting to get those people out of jail.
Why? You still making money off of them?
Yeah.
Well, the prison pipeline is still funding, and then those prisons are privately owned. They're not about to, those, every head is $1. This is what I found out. Do you know when you in jail, you pay rent?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. So when you get out, you got to pay restitution for getting locked up. So you're going to charge me to live here, and then I got to pay you back rent from when I get out? And then there's nothing else for these convicts or anything. There's nothing for them to be reformed or nothing else like that. So you push them to go back, because the world's going to evolve every day. So you do 10 years in there and come out, we're going to push you back in because you're comfortable with being controlled. They call it institutionalized, but your brain adapts to where there's a void.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I can have you talking all day, but
I get you.
you know.
Yeah, I'm more than a pastor. I'm more than a pastor. Yeah.
So if I want to come to church or service,
Mm.
when is your service?
Saturdays at 2:00.
Oh.
And we do it on Saturdays because Saturday is the Sabbath. Sunday is not the Sabbath. Saturday is. Sunday is a day of rest. So we get in there at 2:00. We gonna be in there for an hour, maybe an hour and 30. We gone. Because we'll be in there and have a long church for. It don't take God long to show up. And because I teach series or I try to teach exactly how you can understand it, it's not my personal opinion, it's a divine interpretation. That shouldn't take long. And then we in there, we out of there. 2308 Randolph Street. Saturdays at 2:00. We in, we out. You gonna have a good time. You gonna see me singing because we ain't got no singer yet. She left.
Uh-oh.
She got pregnant on me, so I gotta wait for a new baby. But I can bust a couple tunes. I ain't that bad. I ain't that bad. I promise you. But yeah, it's gonna be good.
Well, do you have anything else you would like to say to us before we close?
I honestly believe if there's anybody from Portsmouth that's up here that's gonna watch it when it goes off, sign a petition and go vote. We have said enough on every social media outlet, but we never show up for our local elections. And this is how our voice is never heard because people get slid in because we don't vote. And given the way this ballot looks, it's going to need some attention. We have what? Three
open slots.
3 open slots, but it's what? 10 people running? Or 7? Which is it, 10 or 7?
I think it was 7.
But you got 4 who's African American and 3 that's white. And if we're being bluntly honest, Simonsdale, the Western Branch area, that Wilson Ward area, and all those areas, they're going to vote. Cavalier Manor is going to vote, which is a good portion of the votes. There's going to be no voting in Dale's Home, Prentice Park, and the other 4 other subdivisions. They're not going to vote. So whoever gets to that Simonsdale area is going to be the winner of those 3 slots.
Okay, so those are our keys.
Yeah. We got to get out there.
Get out there.
We got to go vote. If you not registered, you already wrong. Go register now, today, tomorrow. And it's easy. Go register. And I think now, if I ain't mistaken, you can do it at schools. They got churches that's doing vote. I know in the West Haven area, is West Haven Baptist Church where you can go vote at. I know Lakeview is Cavalier Manor. Man, get out there and go vote. And if this shocks anybody, you would want your pastor to know more about the community instead of just being about church, because that's where we fail. If the only thing about you is church, I'll never trust you. Jesus wasn't that person. He was community driven and he helped you understand God. But if all you got for me is to come to your church, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to be bothered with you. Well, I'm being serious. I can't take, if your only identity is you being saved, then you're dangerous outside of that building. All you going to tell me is about God. You ain't got no proof that you've ever made money. You're not good to your wife. Because what used to scare me are those people who love church but was abusers.
Yeah.
Beat your wife, don't love your son, but you love God. I'm good on you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thank you ever so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
And talking to me.
I appreciate you having me.
And that is all.
Cool.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.